Welcome back to the Shacknews Awards. We are here to give out another award for the best video game pet of the year 2024. To be included in this category, your game had to have released this year, or the pet itself had to have been released this year in the game as like a DLC or something. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Video game pet. That's the category. Here are the nominees. Nix, that whatever the hell thing from Star Wars Outlaws. I don't know what it's called, but it's a Nix.
We'll get into it.
Our next nominee is Zelda's cat from The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. She's a cat person. Another cat, Plateau the cat from Metaphor Refantasio. She's a cool cat that helps you save your progress at different places in the game. Kuma from Tekken 8 is that's Heihachi's pet bear?
Yes.
There you go. I know what I'm talking about. He would never throw Kuma in a pit of lava, right?
Not once.
No. Now, would Kuma throw someone in lava? Probably.
Probably Paul Phoenix.
Heihachi
He would probably check Paul Phoenix in because they have like a rivalry.
Yeah, they got beef.
rivalry.
Yeah. I want to pronounce this right. Is it Asen? In Dragon Age, the Veilguard? Otherwise, I'm going to call it Asen, and that sounds wrong.
I think it's Asan.
Asan.
Yeah, wouldn't it be a song?
I don't know. It's Asana with one S. Anyway. Asan. What is Asan from Dragon Age? I need to understand.
It's a Griffin pal. It's
that's right. Okay.
He's the pet of
I've
the
seen
Grey
the
Lord.
thing. I didn't know that's the name. Anyway. And then Koromaru from Persona 3 Reload. We also have an honorable mention for Neva from Neva. Those are the nominees. Who wants to explain why Nix is the best pet in all of video games released in 2024?
I'll let someone else jump in a second, but I just have to talk about this. This was amazing, and I think Ozzy knows what I'm going to talk about right now. Having food with Nix in Star Wars Outlaws was one of my favorite moments in video gaming this year. We all know, especially like when you get into Ubisoft games, you get all these little mini games and things, and some of them stick and some of them don't. Some of them are good, some of them aren't. I was just roaming around the world and I saw the option to stop and have some food with Nix, and I started to do this. And it's not just the cutscene. You're not just watching them eat, which if you've played Monster Hunter, which is a fine video game with wonderful food, and I have no complaints about how they implemented it, it's just a cutscene, right? Like it's just you them preparing your food, you're munching down on it. In Outlaws, there's actually like QuickTime events for you to have to like give a piece of food to Nix, or have Nix try to grab that food from you, or you eat some yourself. And it's like this back and forth where you're sharing a plate of food. I went into it thinking, okay, this is probably going to be silly, but who knows? Maybe I'll get a gameplay bonus out of it or a buff or something. So I give it a shot. I'm also reviewing it. I should give it a shot. I did. And then from that point forward, I was more obsessed with going to have food with Nix than I was, I don't know, fighting the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Bill on that point. That's such a fun little mini game, and I struggled with whether to even classify Nix as a pet because Nix is a partner in a lot of ways. But Nix's behavior throughout the game, where you can have him fetch items from a distance. You can have him be like, "Okay, Nix, go." You can send them off to like to an enemy off in the distance and have them detonate a thermal detonator on their belt. You can have Nix run distraction. Nix has a lot of pet behaviors that makes the game that help Star Wars Outlaws kind of stand out, because otherwise it's just your typical Ubisoft fare. And in some ways it is, but like the interactions with Nix, whether it's just stopping to pet him, even like I think that makes him that he elevates that game in a lot of ways.
There's a lot of folks who are down on Star Wars Outlaws, but I can tell you it would be a lot worse if Nix wasn't there. Nix really does add, like, one of the best parts of that game is the relationship. And I think even in my review, I said anything for Nix was like maybe the
subheading.
Yeah, that was like the subheading. And that was really it. Like, it was not to be spoilery, and I won't be, but trouble comes your way, and sometimes it's like, oh no, what's happening with my pet? And I was like, everything dies until I get Nyx back. Like, that's it. There's no negotiation.
You
This
go
is gonna
full
go
John
down.
Wick on everyone.
I will
Absolutely.
say one more thing that I found in the early part of the game, and that's you run into a merchant, and the merchant sees Nyx, and he goes, "Hey, that's a nice piece of meat you got there. Like, I love to make a good dinner out of it. How much do you want for it?" And you have the dialogue option to go, "No, not for sale," or 20 credits. And I just go 20 credits, and he goes. And then he sees through you and like, wait a minute, you're not planning to sell this thing to me. And she goes, well, it was worth a try, and just make a run for it.
Also worth noting that this was the creature's first appearance in Star Wars. It was originally a creature created by the development team, not something that they pulled out of the Star Wars lore, something they made, and I think that's noteworthy as well.
The species is technically called a Mercall.
Yeah, Mercall. Yeah, its the first appearance was this game. Wasn't any books, wasn't any comics, wasn't any past. That's pretty impressive.
Is its last name also Skywalker?
No, it's Star Wars. Mercall Star Wars.
Oh. No, it's not a Skywalker. But yeah, they've had chats with Lucasfilm to get a lot of input into this.
That is cool. I like that this is like new canon stuff that's being created in a video game. That's neat. And everything you're saying, just Ubisoft does a good job with these like animal partners in games like Far Cry, where you have like an animal that you can like send to attack or whatever. Like they have games like this in the past where they actually create cool gameplay systems around the animals. So that definitely sticks out.
They named their dog Chorizo in Far Cry 6. What the heck?
That was messed up. I did not like that, Ozzy. I do remember that though. I'm just saying Ubisoft has a track record of making some pretty cool pets in games, or like companion animals. Sometimes they're not pets, right? Anyone else want to wax poetic on Nyx, or should we move on to talk about cats? I think we're going to talk about some cats. You guys, Zelda has a cat.
You guys.
Breaking news. I don't know how we didn't write a breaking news headline about this when we found out. I don't think it was even under embargo. We should have done it immediately. Breaking. Zelda. Confirmed cat lady. Not surprised that she's a cat lady. Or a young lady in this case, but yeah, there's a point in Echoes of Wisdom where you see her chamber in Hyrule Castle, which I don't know if I guess you have seen Zelda's room in other places, right? Breath of the Wild, her room's on the left side of Hyrule Castle. But yeah, like you see all the little stuff that she has there, but yeah, she has a kitty cat laying next to her. I was like, that's cute. Deserves nomination at the very least. I don't think she's compared to Nyx, which is like there's actually mini games and gameplay mechanics built around Nyx. Zelda's cat just exists. That's it.
Much as cats do. They that's what they do.
Yeah. She just laid there the whole time. Yeah. Zelda's out there trying to fix rifts, save the kingdom. Cat's just sleeping.
Cat's like, where's my food? It's 4:00. Where's my freaking food?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we don't spend too much time talking about Zelda's cat. I just think worthy of a nomination because she has a cat. That's exciting. She can also talk to cats in the game. A little down the road. Next up is Plateau the Cat in Metaphor. Donovan, you reviewed Metaphor Refantasio for us.
Mm-hmm.
And Plateau is not just like a sitting there in Moore's academia character. You see Plateau almost right before every big boss, or you see Plateau at these key moments, right?
Yeah, it's arguably the most useful cat because you use it to save your game and also visit academia, which is
very important,
very helpful.
You need to save your game. Needed.
It is, because the times where you run into Plateau are when you want to save, like you're mid dungeon, right? And you're running out of health or whatever. You're like, I don't want to lose all of my progress. Plateau is a great mechanic for that. And yeah, being like the different ways that you can transport yourself to academia, I find interesting in that game. And obviously being Moore's cat, Plateau creates that bridge to the other place. Yeah, very useful to be able to save in an RPG like that. And it's like every time I see that cat, I'm like, oh, thank God. Because I was like, I almost got killed, but the last battle I was in or whatever. And yeah, Plateau the Cat, worthy nominee. Kuma, who doesn't love the bear in Tekken 8?
People that don't know the matchup.
Yeah, right. I guess that's right. Yeah, I've seen you when you're labbing. People are like shaking their fist at you. So, yeah, we're playing against TJ on stream. They're not fans of Kuma. But me watching you kick people's ass with Kuma, I enjoy it.
Is he good tier?
No, he's considered to be like B tier. Just because if you know what he can do, then you're better equipped for it. But Kuma is maybe the most loyal bear on Earth. He is Heihachi's he is jokingly Heihachi's son that he actually loves. Like, this bear has spent, like, there are 2 generations of the Kuma bear in the Heihachi household. This is Kuma 2. The original Kuma had a baby Kuma that took on the Kuma lineage and continues to serve Heihachi. And when Heihachi dies at the end of Tekken 7, Kuma is the one that he puts on Heihachi's karate gi and leads the Mishima Zaibatsu. Like, that bear is so loyal that he learned the economics of handling a large-scale company to serve his dad.
Do any of those employees be like, we're taking orders from a bear?
No, Ben, no.
I mean,
this bear is ride or die.
I would not argue with the bear, though, Ozzy. Are you going to do a power struggle with a bear?
Good grief, the CEO's a bear.
And that is the thing, is that Kuma's fighting style is like karate plus bear. Like, straight down to, like, he'll get down on all fours and swipe at your feet or just knock your legs out from under you with an attack conveniently called Salmon Hunter. And just everything about him is perfect, loyal bear. I love Kuma. Kuma is an amazing pal. I would love to have a pal like Kuma.
I think they missed the opportunity to, like, give him a move called the bear market or something.
I think he had a move called like the bear hug at one point, didn't he?
It's one of his throws.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They just hit all the marks.
Nice. A very worthy nominee for this category. So yeah, Asan in Dragon Age of the Veilguard also exists. So is that more like a companion, right? That you can use?
He's very specifically tied to one of the characters. He's the Grey Warden's pet. Okay. And so, like, those two are they're very tied together. And so if you go through the Grey Warden story, if you're friends with that Grey Warden, then Asan will figure big into your playthrough in a variety of ways. Like, I don't want to drop any spoilers, but Asan is a very big part of, like, there are some choices that involve that Griffin. Plus, you can just visit the Griffin whenever you feel like it and pet him and give him boops on the snoot and treats. All good things.
Yeah.
I don't think to give a Griffin a boop on the snoot or whatever.
Nice. But yeah, last but not least, we have a Shiba Inu from the Persona series. Koromaru, maybe the most adorable dog of the year.
Adorable, and he fights. He's a party member. Yeah, they straight up recruit this dog, the Shiba Inu, into their like demon hunting organization. Give it like clothes and gear, and straight up fight alongside it. In the party, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's hard to. People who are watching this or listening to this should just Google Koromaru and just see the pictures of how cute they are. Yeah, because you're right. It's not just a. That's not just a companion. That's an actual character that fights alongside you. And they did a good job with the remake of that game too. Yep. Cool. Well, yeah, that's two games from that studio. Two animals from 2 different games from that studio that are being nominated in the same category.
Yeah, Atlas loves their animal characters.
Which the cat from P5 is probably the most iconic.
Morgana, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Morgana, like probably the most iconic of all their characters. Like,
yeah. I mean, the face of that video game.
Yeah, like when I was in Japan 5 years ago, you could not go to a store and not see that cat somewhere. I don't know if it was still like that when you guys were there, but like Persona 5, that took over that country for years. And that cat was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, I think we should probably vote then, right?
I believe so.
Cool. Let me get my ballot up here. We're doing best video game pet. Let's see. Let's start with Steve.
I think I'm gonna go with Plateau the cat.
Plateau from Metaphor. Okay. David?
Kuma.
Kuma from Tekken 8. Donovan?
I'll vote for Kuma as well, I think.
Kuma. TJ, I'm guessing Kuma? Oh, wait. Sorry. I'm doing this wrong again. Wait, TJ.
You were right either way.
Yeah. Okay. Denny?
Well, you're still right. Because it's Kuma, ride or die, bear.
And then TJ, or sorry, Greg.
Bill swayed me on Nyx.
Yeah.
I'm not even a
TJ,
big Star
you're on
Wars guy,
Kuma?
and I'm like, yeah, Nyx. Yeah, it sounds like he sounds like absolutely delightful, and he
Mhm.
won't murder me in my sleep like Kuma will if I make him angry.
Yeah. Kuma might just be hungry at night,
Yeah.
and you just wake
Don't
up. and
sleep
You're not
around
Hitachi,
explosives.
swipe.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you need a separate bedroom. This is not. You're not sharing a bed with your pet here. If it's Kuma. Ozzy, Nyx.
Nyx.
Okay. Bill, Nyx.
I'm from Canada, and it's well known that you don't keep pets that can eat you, so I'm Nyx as well.
Sam.
Asif, you really spoke to me when you talked about the excitement you felt when you saw a cat. And I feel that excitement when I get home and I see Rad. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad to see you. So it's
Yeah.
got to be Plateau.
Plateau. Not Zelda's cat. Plateau. Oh, you're talking about the relief I felt when I saw the save point.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So when I get
Okay.
home, it's my save point when I see Rad. So it's like, I get it.
Well, here I am, the decider. We're at an interesting point here because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 votes for Kuma, 3 votes for Nyx, and 2 votes for Plateau.
TJ, how
Chaos.
competitive is Kuma's dental plan, and does he offer 401k options at his company? That's all I want to know. Those are
I
the
don't
hard
care
hitting
about any of
questions.
I'm voting for Nyx because what Bill said, everything Bill said, that there's dedicated gameplay mechanics built around the character, that you can actually use Nyx in battle as like a secondary kind of. That is very cute. I like that it was created by Ubisoft for the game. Also, just graphically, probably the most impressive out of all the pets that we saw this year. Stylized to all hell. So I'm voting for Nyx, which creates a tie. So Steve and Sam have to vote again. And they have to pick between Nyx and Kuma. So how about I go with Sam first?
Talking about animals that are too big to be pets, I think Kuma is out for me. So I got to go with Nyx.
Okay. And now Steve.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Nyx as well. I was torn between Plateau or Nyx the whole time because Bill swayed me toward Nyx, but it was very close.
Okay, cool.
Nyx is such a wonderful balance between cuteness and violence. It's great.
Yeah. All these pets are great. We love all of them. We want more pets in video games. And it's kind of a shame that Lola from Bubbletron wasn't nominated. But, we can't nominate our own game, I don't think. But, she's a pretty good video game pet, too. Anyway, congratulations to Ubisoft, LucasArts, Bob Iger, whoever else, Ray Star Wars,
Mr. Mouse.
you have won the best video game pet of the year 2024. Nyx, just an adorable, fun, cool pet. Good work.
Better than Brem's fish and grits, huh?